Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from the Super C, driving down Tamiami Trail, Highway 41 towards Naples, towards the south. And I'm going to go over to Lido Beach. I'm heading back over there this morning to work on my tan, sit in a chair, think my thoughts, look at the water, and do absolutely nothing, which is what I've been doing for a few days now. This morning was a busy morning for me. I got up, you guys know I cut my own hair, and I started looking, I'm like, oh, you could use a little trim. When you wear your hair short, it's high maintenance because it's like shaving. If you don't wear a beard, you got to shave every single day. With the beard, you can maybe skip a day and, it doesn't get noticed too bad. But I cut my hair, and then when I was cutting, I was getting carried away. I started looking at the hair on my arms and my legs, and for whatever reason, it gets too long. I look like a bear with hair on my palm of my hands. So I started just whacking, and I went all over. And I'm telling you, there was more hair on the floor than I've ever seen on the last 10 haircuts. I mean, I don't know, man, I got to be another pound lighter now. I cut all that hair off. So I'm a clean body that'll allow the sun to get on me and not block. And I won't be as hot. Won't have that fur coat on me. So I'm not a real hairy person. I don't have hair on my back or anything like that, like some men do. But I like to manscape it off. And if you forget about it, which is what I've done, and my hair, like I got brown hair. I put nothing on my hair. Somebody was talking about putting some on my hair one day. I have never put it. Well, years ago, I used to do some blonde highlights because my hair turned brown. It used to be blonde. And then I messed it up a couple of times. I swore I'd never do it again. It turned orange. So my hair, it gets darker, not gray. I got a little gray. And the hair on my body, where it used to be when I surfed and snorkeled and a lot of stuff, I used to fish a lot over in West Palm, up in Jupiter, the hair was blonder and on my legs and everything. And now it's like dark. I hate dark hair on me. And, I grew up, blonde, light blonde, towhead blonde. I don't know why it changed, but it did. So I deal with it. So I just cut it all off. TMI? Well, what else I got to talk about? I'm passing SRQ here, and I always like looking over at the cottage I had right there at that house over here on Westmoreland Drive. They got a couple of new things there on the property. That house, that piece of property, only a eccentric, out there kind of person would even contemplate on buying that property. If you've seen the inside of that house, you wouldn't believe it. It's like a maze of little tiny rooms, just endless rooms, built in 1925. The lady I rented from was extremely eccentric. But she was a lot of fun too. So she gave me a good deal, and I mowed that grass, and I lived back there in the back, and I brought to the table my, should I get a cup of coffee? Let's go into McDonald's. I already had some black coffee this morning. I'm getting used to it. Yep. I didn't have any cream yesterday. Today's day number 2. What do I weigh? I'm a 197 man. Still. Didn't lose a pound. But, it's only been a day. We're going to stick with it. Wow, we got a bunch of people in line here. Wonder if somebody will buy me a cup. So, I'm going to go to the beach. I was going to go to Siesta Key Beach and drive further down. It's like a half-hour drive. Venice Beach, all that. I'm like, nah, beach is a beach. I just want to be on the beach. It's not so much about making a video and a tutorial and a showing you. I've done it. So I'm going to get my credit card right now, so I don't have to use the phone. I'm going to open a bucket of worms here and discuss something. And it's not what you think. You're gonna like, well, that ain't a bucket of worms. But we're gonna begin. So I was talking to Fred and Rafaela yesterday. You know, this whole traveling thing that I want to do and likely will do, I just can't pull the trigger in my life to ever want to go anywhere. Whoa. My flag was going to fall off. In the Northeast. That New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, any of them news up there. I'm not going there. Upstate, Anne Arundel, I don't care. I just can't, in my mind. I've never done it. I know it's beautiful. I know Niagara Falls. I've seen videos. I mean, I'm not talking about the city. And some people, you know, that's like a bucket list for them, is to go to New York City. Anybody I've ever met that's been to New York City said it was filthy dirty. And I agree. Not that I've been there, but when I went to Chicago once, but when you go in the buildings, that's a whole different story, isn't it? But outside from the, hi, how you doing? Good morning. I'd like a senior black coffee. That'll be all. Thank you. And the sun. Yeah, in the building is different. But, you know, I did Chicago, and, you know, New York's going to be probably the same. So I have no interest in big cities. And that was a long time ago. I went to Chicago when I was in the car business. They sent me I was working for a Buick dealer. They sent me there on a trip to go learn about the Buick Reatta. I don't know if you remember that car. Anyway, I'm not going to go on that tangent. But so the Northeast is out. And then I'm going to be just as critical. So don't think I'm getting on the Northeast. Don't take offense. But the Southeast, the Smokies, Cherokee, you know, Tennessee, Gatlinburg, what's that other one called? I can never think of it. Anyway, all that. I have wore that path out when I had my motorcycle and my sports car more times than the law allows. I lived in Atlanta, and it was a day ride. I mean, I can see it right now. If I go up there, it won't be like, oh, sure good seeing this again. And I'm sure it would be. You know, just like a couple of years ago when I went to the Apple Festival, and that was neat. It wasn't special. It was neat. I never toured the apple orchards that much. I made some videos. What was really cool about that trip is I was invited to stay in not one, but two different cottages from people that recognized me on YouTube. And, you know, one didn't even want me to, make videos for them, but I did. And then another one called me, and he did want me to make some videos to promote his Airbnb, and I did. That was that one that was like ginormous. I felt all alone in it.
Senior coffee?
Senior coffee.
All right, it's going to be 106 today.
106, thank you. How much is the order behind me?
1 second. $26.58.
How much? $26?
Yeah.
Forget it. It's either going to be funny like that, or I'm going to buy it. Can you believe it? Hey, how's it going today?
Thank you. Good, thank you.
My gosh. Unbelievable. Forget it. Not when I'm putting gas in this. Hey, look. It could have been anywhere under 10. And if it just goes over, I'm a sucker sometimes and I'll do it. Like $12 or whatever for a cup of coffee. I'm not paying $27 for a senior coffee. Hey, why is that wet? What happened here? Okay. Where was I? Not going there. Not going to the south. Not going to the mountains. I told you guys the story the other day when I used to travel on my Harley that I didn't want to come back that day. I didn't want to come back the next day. I wanted to just keep going. So I had a brainstorm. We don't need to look at the color. We know what it is. We don't need to taste it because we know what it's going to be like. I got to tell you this one too. I have no interest in going and camping out behind the Tropicana in Laughlin, Nevada. Now, Bullhead City, the Donkey area, the awesome Mexican restaurant and all that stuff, which I don't eat anymore. The Human Bean coffee, shooting my gun outside, nobody cares, you know, just down that road outside of city limits. All that's cool. The desert Southwest, all that's bitching. But I did it 3 times. I'm thinking about doing something that I have done before. It's a repeat, but it's been a while. That's why I went out to Laughlin and Vegas and California and all that, and Utah, is because I had done that before, but it had been a while. So now I'm thinking about Yellowstone National Park, Cody, Wyoming. Man, that gal's walking down the road staggering. She's already high at 8:11 a.m. walking the streets. Yeah, I'm thinking like either stay southern and then go north to those areas, you know, go out west that way, or go straight up through Kentucky, whatever takes me to the freeway that's north of the 40. What is that, the 80 or something up there? And then go west. And hit Yellowstone, do Cody again. That was really a cool place. I don't know, maybe in part of Colorado. And then after you see Yellowstone, you come out down through the Tetons, Jackson Hole, and I don't know. I think you can work your way down south from there, eventually to the Vegas area, which you can come underneath on the 40 and hit the Grand Canyon, which you never get tired of, which I should do again. That I keep saying I'm going to do. I did it twice. I passed it 3 other times that I said I was going to do it and didn't. So, get this bus stop in here. A lot of traffic out here. All these people going to their prison jobs. So something like that, you know, a big, long, continuous driving. I think you go through Nebraska and you just open country. A northern route going west. If I don't take the southern route and then go north, like over to the 25 in New Mexico and straight up Colorado. I think that's what I did on my motorcycle. I'll figure it out. You know, go the best weather route. Already, even though temperatures are warm, not like here, in those areas I'm thinking about, they also have very low temperatures at night already. I mean, 50s, and next month they could even have, mid 40s. But it warms up during the day. I don't mind that. I can deal with that. But those places and that route, that destination, only has a short window to hit it, because those will be snowy and cold, early on of the fall and winter. So you got to crush that now. Also, going out there, Utah, that's a northern state up there a little bit. I wouldn't mind, right now it's real hot during the day, but it's cool at night, is repeating Moab. It's such a cool place. Looks like you're on a different planet. And the Arches National Park are there, and I've got my, America's Pass, whatever they call it, to help me with camping and to help me with half off inside the park and everything. Got a guy here in a Tahoe. It's an old Cop Tahoe. Got the brush guard in the front, the steel black wheels and the black wall tires, but it doesn't even have air because he got his windows down. And it's some young guy. People buy them old retired cop cars. They take all the markings off, and you can still see that it was a narc car at one time. Anywho, that's what I'm thinking. And that's not a short trip to like the Smokies. Or should I just stick with that, go up there, bring my ass back home? But that whole Michigan, New York, pass. I just can't even get my mind into it. But when I started thinking about West, any of those states, any of them, from California, which I'd never go again, it ruined it. That beautiful state, the prettiest the prettiest state with the most diverse climates and terrain in America, filled with a bunch of crap. So anyway, what do you guys think? I'm going to sit over here on the beach and ponder it some more. Went to bed at 8 o'clock last night. 8 or 8:30 or something like that. I don't know what's going on. I ran yesterday instead of the sprints. No, I didn't run. I trotted for a long distance. Instead of that 60-yard deal, doing these sprints, I ran like 250 yards, or trotted 250 yards at the end of this strip over there where the tower is, and then I would walk all the way back. And then I trotted back. I did it like 5 times. 3 to 5 times each way. And I'm thinking, that'll lose some weight. That and no heavy whipping cream. And then, another thing is, I've been trying to get my mind right. And I have had an epiphany last night. Folks, that's almost the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. But definitely isn't. But it's doable. And I'm going to stick with this cowboy coffee longer than I ever have before, and hopefully make it permanent. Or I won't drink it. I'll be off coffee. I don't even think coffee is part of carnivore, is it? I watched this video last night on carnivore, this guy and his wife. 978,000 views. They were celebrating their 3-month anniversary of carnivore. They both did it together. You never met or seen two more lovebirds in your life. They made that little video together, and they were cheek in cheek, and she was touching his face, and and he kept talking about how he'll do anything with her, and man, they were definitely a couple. And they did this thing together. But you know what they were saying? I thought, really? They said, be prepared. They said, be prepared to go to Salvation Army and Goodwill every 30 days and get clothes. Don't go buy them at the store and pay retail, because you're going to lose so much weight. You're going to have to change your whole wardrobe every 30 days. They talk about how they had to go get all new clothes every 30 days. They both look, I won't say skinny, but slim as hell. So I don't know what they started out at. But apparently they had super, super good luck. Now, she was a coffee drinker. He not so much, but he says, I like drinking coffee with her. I'll drink it with her. Everything was what he would do for her and what she would do for him. It was a little bit mushy, actually. But, hey, God bless them. And they're getting ready to erect another big something here. Look at this traffic. What the heck? Whose idea was this to come out here at this hour? What is it today? Tuesday. Oh, I was going to change the oil in the truck. And I went over to Fred and Raphaela's yesterday. My appointment, I told you the story about how I went and I met a girl with a ring in her nose. And I just walked out because they didn't honor my appointment. They let my truck sit out there for 45 minutes. And they never did bring it in. I just said, I'm going to cancel. I wasn't rude. I just said, I got to get out of here. Forget it. So I made it for the next day at the location I like. But guess what? They didn't have a morning time yesterday. It was 2:30. I want to do it in the morning. I'm a morning person. Get it over with. Middle of the day, I might be wanting to do something. So yesterday, I was visiting Fred and Raphaela. Spending a little bit more time with them. And I went and worked out first and did my running and things I was talking about earlier. And I said, oh yeah, I'd like to come over for a cup. And but I won't be able to stay long, as I got to go all the way back to the Bradenton Beach area, to the Walmart over there, to get my oil changed at 2:30. So I'm going to have to leave about 1:30. So 1:30 come, time was flying by, because we were sitting there having a good time. Yesterday was all about Trump and the ending the war in Ukraine and meeting with the European people. And, we were interested in that a little bit. We were watching, listening to some commentary. And, time flies when you're having fun. You're having a good conversation with good friends. And they're always wanting me to stay. And so the time came and I said, I got to drive all the way over there. So I went online, because they remind you with a text, and it said if you'd like to reschedule. So I said, yeah, let me just reschedule. There's no rush. And I rescheduled. They didn't have anything today, but tomorrow morning, I'm on it. And I want to do it because I think the time is getting closer. I'm going to boogie. And I'm still on the fence, more towards going to the synthetic. It's not about the money. It's just, we were talking, Fred and I, like he has synthetic, I had synthetic in the Honda. You don't want to go from synthetic to conventional. And when you Google it and talk to AI and all that, for what that's worth, it actually says that it's fine to go from conventional to synthetic. And it's actually encouraged, and even some of the dealers, possibly the Ford dealer, would even recommend it. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to do that. But for a moment, I kind of backtracked, not because of the money, because it's not that expensive at Walmart. It was like, look, if you do it often enough, but I thought, well, all right, if I tow and it's straining and this and that and that and that, just go with a, synthetic. So we're going to do that. I'm glad I didn't switch to it right away. And I've got 142 miles on this truck. Big V8. And, I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize a warranty or something, But I guess if the dealer is going to recommend it, then that wouldn't void the warranty. But if you try to put conventional oil in a car that came with synthetic and you had a problem, then you might have a problem. So we're going to change the oil in the morning. That'll be one step closer. And then I'm going to start thinking about, and every day, I was just wanting August to get over with too. I mean, now they got another system coming, nothing to do with me going out west, but there's another system behind Aaron that they're going to be watching. It's got a chance. I mean, they're just starting to, train off of Africa now. And one system after another. And one could hit us. But I'm going to be away from of an issue like that. And I'll have everything with me. And I won't have no car sitting there. Man, you should see the people walking the Lido Bridge here. The Ringling Bridge, I should say. Folks, that coffee wasn't too bad. I can tell you I don't drink as much of it as I used to. Well, I used to since yesterday. Because I'm not like jonesing for that flavor with the cream. It's like, if I get one, well, I'm going to be drinking a black cowboy coffee. Yeah. But, I like coffee. And I like the caffeine in it, so we will continue drinking it, probably less, and maybe eschewing it. Who knows? I'll tell you about eschewing before I end the video. When I said earlier I was trying to get my mind right, I told you guys I've been listening to a lot of messages, sermons, spiritual messages. This AI, Billy Graham, there's like a dozen channels that uses his picture, but the channel name is different. Someone is creating a dozen different channels that show Billy Graham's picture. It's an AI voice with a similar accent. And other than that, they're just really good messages. And there's no hesitation. There's no pausing. It's just rapid fire promises from the Bible, all truths, all inspirational, all motivational, all logical, and all making you think. And it works the same way as sitting there listening to Fox News or CNN all day. If after you do it for a while, listening to that crap, it takes hold. And you start to come around to their way of thinking, to their belief, to disliking this group, liking that group, faulting this group. Hold on a second. We got a beauty here. Wow. Hollywood needs to contact you, honey. Anywho, so I'm listening, and it's a 2-hour, 45-minute video. And it's basically 3 messages. So it doesn't, I'm like, how can they just keep going on and on and on about this first part it started talking about? But I got through it, and I found out they actually almost introduce, like saying, like, and this message is for, but they made it all in one video. And when you see 2 hours and 46 minutes, you're like, I'm not clicking on that. I'm not going to watch a 2 hour and 46 minute video. But I warn you, this particular video, if you watch it for more than 10 minutes, you're going to go through the first, I think it's 40 or 45 minutes might be the first message. The second one is similar but different. And the third one, they all really go together, but what they have, what it is it pertains to every one of us. There's not anybody that's not going to find something in that video that you don't need to hear, that you are going through, that will help you. I'll guarantee it. So, if you want, I'm going to make you work for it. I'm going to tell you the title. Well, I'd have to look at my phone. Maybe I'll copy and paste the link to the video and put it in the description. And if you watch this, I don't care if you're man or woman, young or old. I don't care if you're going through something or not going through something. There's something in this. And I'm telling you, when I make Crushing It for Christ videos, I get this many views compared to anything else. I could pick my nose and get more views than when I put Crushing It for Christ in the title. That's because there's a lot of people that just are not. Are they going to cross the road? Go ahead. These people are jogging. Are not interested. They're just not interested. They don't want to be interested. They want to just continue spinning their tail in life. But man, was I woke today. This is the message of all messages over Charles Stanley, over anything, if you're into motivational messages, over anything Joel Osteen's ever said, over anything John MacArthur. And I don't mean to say that in a way that those guys don't. But I'm just telling you, if you can just make it a point to listen to it in segments, you know, get that first one. You'll know when the second one kind of begins. And man, I own the beach. I should. It's 8:32. It's gonna change your life, and that's why it's got me rearing and ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna park it up here in this shade spot, right up here. Right here. This is where I want to be. At Lido Beach. So, I'll put a link to it in the description. Do yourself a favor. I know many of you will. And it was so relatable to me. It gave me, I could go to a psychiatrist, I could go to a psychologist, I could go to a doctor, I could go to a friend, but nobody's going to give you what the Holy Spirit can give you. And this message answered all these question marks I had in my head. So many of them that I just couldn't understand. Now I understand. Now there's no more confusion. Now it's all clear. It's all understandable. And I'm excited about it. Very excited about it. In fact, you should be seeing a difference in me. So I have broke through the other side. I think it's a song. Break on through. And now I'm going to go on the beach and crush it. I got everything in the back of the truck. I got a message here from somebody on my Apple CarPlay here. It says I got one message. maybe it's just a reminder from Walmart about my oil change tomorrow. But I'm going to get that done. We'll think of some kind of a story. I was drawing a little bit of a blank because the problem with my stories that I've shared with you is the ones that I thought that might be the most interesting or you might find the most curious because it's different from your life maybe because you had a normal type of life. I included, even with my motorcycle stories, so much leapfrogging into other things that if I went back and started saying another story, you're like, well, you kind of mentioned that, but I didn't elaborate. So maybe I'll go back and just elaborate on certain segments of that, of those few stories that I've shared, as well as try to think of something else. The Neotech book, I'm not going to talk about. I decided, I'm sorry to bait you in there on that one, but that was something that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. And I got it under different pretenses. It was about how to help me learn how to be a better salesman, overcome objections, and be successful. It used the game of poker, like bluffing and, using guilt and coercion of things you can say to get people to think, because people are very easily, they're malleable. A lot of people, they use one analogy, like if you're losing a lot of money at the casino and someone says to you, well, don't quit now, you're on the verge of hitting, like a slot machine. Well, what does that do to your mind? They're able to move you into giving another $100 or $1,000 or however much into that machine that may not. But the mystical beliefs, you see, the book was about mysticism, and the book actually dismissed all mysticism, and they included four-leaf clovers, everything that's mystical, zodiac, all that. And guess what? God, spirituality, the creator, it dismisses that. And it was a brainwashing book that got to me. And I asked God for forgiveness, and I never looked back. And if you ever look it up, Neotech, everything that it promised. I read this book in 92 or something, 94, I don't know what it was, early 90s. And everything that it talked about would come to the future. I guess some of it is true, with AI and that kind of a thing. But it talked about people living forever, and, it's just, I carried it around like it was a Bible. I talked to it. I talked to everybody about it. Here I am talking about it now. And it was evil. It was a book of evil. I'm telling you, man, there's some mistakes that I've made in my life. And thank God that there is God and a forgiver and a person that can change you. And now I've learned in this thing I was talking about earlier, this video that I'll post a link for, that a lot of things that are bad in your life are not from the devil. They're not. They are actually from God loving you so much that he's doing something in your life. He is removing people from your life that aren't meant to go with you forever. And friends, I'm talking about. Family, relationships. I know it sounds, but you listen to it. You listen to it. And it really answered a lot of my confusion that I've been having over the last couple of months because of what's happened in my own personal life. And now I'm ready. And now I'm ready to, and I know that it's not about pleasing a big audience. I'm not looking for certain applause. I'm not looking for anything other than what God will grow me into. And whether that be this or something else, I'm trusting in him for that. And I know he's not going to fail me. I know I got a great future. As long as I maintain him as number one, not disown him, not forget him, and not to be drugged down by others that claim to be your friends, that claim to say they love you, that secretly talk about you, that want to bring you down, they're only using you. And this video, like I said, there's 3 segments of it. Maybe some of you are helping people that just keep draining you, that they don't ever end up helping themselves, and you keep helping them. That's another part of it. That was another one, which is not something that I related to particularly. Kinda, when I was doing that, but I'm not doing that now. So a lot of you are doing that. It could be your children, your family, your friends, someone, and they're just draining you. Learn from this video. All right, folks, let me check out this message. I'll get you another one later on today. Boy, this one was 41 minutes? That's not too bad. Seemed like it was forever. I got to get my stuff out. It's only 8:40. How long can I stay here? What is today? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Crush it.